Welcome back to Tigre Gitana. My name is Abby, and today I'm going to be doing the solar plexus chakra for this week. I'm expanding the sacral video, like tarot pole, to be a series because you guys kept emailing me about it, so I was like, okay, sure. So it's gonna be a series now for every week, and I'm gonna be using the Rider-Waite deck for this, and then the Gypsy Oracle cards for this as well, specifically for the solar plexus. And we're going to be focusing on what the blockages is and how we can heal that this week. So for the solar plexus for the week of October 8th to the 15th, how can we heal our solar plexus? And I'm actually excited about this because I feel like the solar plexus is one of my favorite chakras to work with. I do a lot of work in this space as well, but it's really easy for me to work with it because I'm a Leo rising, and that's Leo energy rules the solar plexus. So we are going to be talking about astrologically as well, how that's coming up this week. So what are our blockages for our solar plexus for the week of... Okay, and this one fell already. Okay. Wow, work is coming up a lot this week. Jesus. Okay, first two cards as far as blockages go is the Star and the Eight of Pentacles. So, how can we best heal our solar plexus this week? This is actually, it's not that bad, but work has just been coming up a lot. Okay, best heal. Okay. Bottom of the deck is Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. Two Knights. Okay. Cool. So, for the Star and the Eight of Pentacles to be coming up as a blockage, I'm mad at y'all. This has to do with patience. This in a blockage is literally patience. Like, you do not see where your destination and where your efforts are going for some reason. And there is kind of a looking at your life as a larger path, as a larger picture, versus looking at it as your efforts are kind of going unnoticed, or like it's not going anywhere. There's just like a dismissal about it, that it's like if you're not seeing the money actually in your bank account, but it's like, this is the card of making money for other people but not necessarily seeing it. And I totally get that because I work retail as my day job, but there is a larger picture for your life that you need to understand. As it blocking your solar plexus, that's blocking your own happiness and blocking your own will, which is a problem because when you do that, when you're unable, as far as healing it goes, Page of Pentacles in reverse and then the Three of Wands, when you're doing that, you really are not, you're kind of putting yourself in a box, because healing it this week, you need to, well, actually, I would recommend some of you guys plan a vacation because y'all need it, but you actually need to look at life, like why you're making the money that you're doing, why you need to work. I mean, I know the system is fucked up, but why are you doing the things that you're doing? You need to refine the value in what it is that you're doing, and actually see your life as a larger picture versus actually seeing it as kind of something that's not going anywhere. It's going somewhere. You just need to kind of, there's a regrounding that needs to happen with these two. Like, there's a regrounding that needs to happen because there's kind of no spark. There's no spark, and there needs to be a spark. And the way you will find the spark that will spark again is by really taking yourself out of that situation. And I would say plan a trip. If you can do like a weekend trip. I do these things all the time. I live in New York, so I'm pretty sure in November I'm going to Boston, but I will literally like book me a cute trying to bust like $20, take my ass to Boston for 2 days, literally 2 days, because that is all I need to make my Boston trip bomb. And I would literally just go to Boston for 2 days, and the way I'll set that up is like I can go, I don't know, I'll pick a concert or something, because I love going to concerts. And it's like I try to kill as many birds with one stone as I can. So I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to Boston, what else is happening in Boston that I could go to? So I'll look at concerts, because I love concerts. I love going to shows and seeing my favorite artists, whatever. So I'll go to a concert, whether big or small, and I'll take a trip. And while I'm there, I'll also do my favorite things. I'll go get clam chowder from my favorite restaurant that makes clam chowder over there. I will walk around the city aimlessly, just enjoying the trees and enjoying the vibes, because Boston for me gives me a lot of like London vibes. It was like the faraway London for me. So I appreciate Boston a lot. I also do this with Philly, and we're gonna talk about Philly in a second. But I will walk around the city. I'll do my favorite things. I'll go to the spiritual shop that I usually go to and pick something up, you know, treat myself to something, whether it's a crystal or whatever. And I will try to discover new places to eat, new vegan spots around there. I'm a pescatarian, so that's why I said clam chowder, because I love clam chowder. I love fish. But I will try to literally, I'll literally do my favorite things. I love walking around Boston and just taking pictures. I love finding aesthetically like all the old things. There's a lot of cemetery, like kind of almost small cemeteries in Boston that you could just walk around in the city. So I do a lot of kind of different work all around the city, and just roam around and like find really cool like vintage shops and like really cool restaurants that I haven't seen. Like just do, because I have Sagittarius in my 5th house. Okay, I have Mars and Sagittarius in my 5th house. That means that I need to, like, the way I have fun and the way that I enjoy my life is by just expanding myself and learning and putting myself in a situation where I could just absorb something else other than what I already know about my life. Like just expanding, looking at the, you know, that's a part of what I do really well. So I love Boston. I also go to Philly because literally Philly is 2 hours away. Boston is like 4.5 hours away from New York. Philly is 2 hours away, and I do 2-day trips there too. Like I will do, like, I don't know, a weekend trip, or like if I have 2 days back to back, and I'll take my ass to Philly. Philly has such a different vibe. There's a lot of spirits walking around in Philly, and it's a very it's a more sexual city, I would say, but I love walking around Philly. There's always something to explore. The penitentiary is like full of spirits. Oh god, anytime I go there, and I usually go there, me and my sister would do a trip, and it's yeah, there's a lot of spirits walking around Philly. Literally, like parks, you'll be walking around places and they're just like, the energy will shift in every block. It'll be like different because there's something else going on. So spiritually, it's like a fun experience for me. I'm sorry about this fly. It's like a fun experience for me. But I'm talking about this because I feel like, as far as will and happiness and joy, because your solar plexus is like, it's like the sun. It's like the sun, like right here. It's ruled by Leo. The solar plexus is ruled by Leo. What does Leo do? That is your ego, okay? That is your sense of joy and happiness. You need to you need to find out what it is. If you know what you love doing, you need to do that this week, in order, especially to balance out the other chakras, because some of the other chakras is like messy this week. But find what it is that you love doing. Like for me, I love traveling. I love eating food. If I could just travel any food and just do rituals all over and just connect and be present with the earth and like do all the things, you know, I would totally just do that for the rest of my goddamn life, you know. But I understand that not everybody, not only not everybody has my placements, but not only do others, they find it hard to do those things. Especially traveling. I travel so much that literally my friends are like, and I'm also the person, side note, I'm also the person that will not wait for you to travel with me. If you don't make it to the, like, if I tell you I'm going somewhere, you're like, I want to go, but I don't think I can, I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'll just leave you, and then you will be seeing my Instagram pictures like, oh my god, why you left without? And I'm like, well, you didn't. I'm literally the one, because I'm not gonna wait for somebody else to travel with me. I will be the one to travel myself. I've gone to London by myself. I literally traveled out of the country by myself. I don't have a problem with it. Again, Mars and Sag, very adventurous person. I need that. Like, I need that. I can't wait for others to come with me anywhere. Why do I need to do that? And maybe you need to do that for yourself this week, because he's not on top of this hill with 5 other people trying to freaking decide when they're going to Europe or wherever. It doesn't have to be a big trip. It could be like, look at your options, little boats right here. Look at your options, but it could be a small trip. Like, honestly, I've been literally a couple days ago, I was like, I need to go to Miami. I always go to Miami like every year, and I really want to go. So I'm thinking about like it, because Miami from New York is literally like $120 to fly over there. So why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I fly out? And I don't spend that much money when I travel. So it's like everybody's like hell-bent on thinking like they have to spend a whole week in a place and like they have to spend all this money. No. Find ways to pull yourself out of a situation, but still be economically, like, you're not spending that much money, like that much bread. No, that much bread don't need to be spent for you to have a good time. When I went to London, I stayed there for a week. My flight was $500. I spent less than $900 for my whole entire week. Ask me how I did that. It's not hard. Like, everybody wants to make it hard, and I'm like, yo, you're making it so hard on yourself to travel and to enjoy the world, and then you're stuck in this whole miserable like circle of stuff. Like, oh, I just work and wake up and work and wake up, and you lose your sense of self and your sense of not only who you all are, but your will, your happiness, your joy. You can't see the world other than the misery that you see on the news. Like, take yourself out of the box. Plan something, even if it's a short trip, even if it's a day trip. Like, go somewhere. Do something. If you drive, you have it lit already. I don't drive. If I was driving, like, I had this teacher in high school. She was so cool. She would literally every weekend, she would go to a different state and camp out. Literally. And then she would come back on Monday and she would tell us stories like throughout the week of where she went and all this stuff. But every single fucking week, she was out there. And she was happy. She was happy. She was great. She was like, I live in the United States. I want to see the other states. I want to see what, you know, I want to know. I want to know about it. I want to enjoy the country, you know? And it's crazy to think about it, because in Europe, they travel so much. In the United States, where's the time? Where's the money? There are ways to make stuff happen. If you live in one of those states that's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but you drive though, take a trip though, because you have the ability, you have the vehicle to do so. Because if you live in one of those states, you know how to drive. So it's not like you don't have the avenue to get there. I live in New York, so it's easy for me to like boom 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 and like Metro North this and, you know, China Bus that. But like, don't say that you can't do it when you know you can do it. Literally, when I go to Boston, I spend less than $100 on everything. Usually, like less than $150, unless I'm splurging and I buy myself something nice. But usually, the China bus is $20. The hostel I stay in is like what, $50 for the night, and that's only one night. So it's like, that's one. And then the food, I'm not spending $5 million on food. So it's like, and then the concert is usually like $30 or something like that. So what are we talking about here? What, money-wise, what are we talking? I literally just spent 2 days in Boston. Like, what are we talking about there? Like, if you really want to sell yourself the idea that somewhere is too expensive, that your options and that the things that you really rather be doing are way too expensive, that you're not thinking wide enough, and you need to be this week. Heal yourself by actually putting yourself in the position where you're actually letting yourself be happy. Like, what the fuck is the problem with being happy? Like, work with your placements. Look at your chart. Find out where all these other areas are. Because, I mean, Sag this week, you know, you might want to travel. But what is it, like, you see, with this Libra energy, because we said we were talking about balance. In order to balance the heart and the mind, you need to balance this stuff out, too. Because your will and your happiness, it's embedded in both of those things. Your mind needs to be very much happy, and your emotional state needs to be happy. So focus on that. Why is it a problem for you to be happy? Why? I just don't. Okay, I'm gonna pull one more card. But of course, it just makes it no. That is the whole deck. Yeah, is feeling some type of way, so that's not gonna happen. Okay, so, but we're gonna take that one. So the two that came out before are Thief and Sighs. Yeah, have me sighing at ya this week. Thief, this card specifically in relation to this reading is time. Theft of time. Wasting your time. Feeling like you're wasting your... There's like something being taken from you and it's making you feel really, really low about it. Yeah, I can see that. But you can act on this instead of sitting on your ass and just going with the flow. You can act on this. There's ways to act on this. Like, don't feel like this is not... If you're aware that this is your energy, if you're aware that you're blocked in the space, if you're aware of what the problem is, what is happening here, then like, what is this sitting here? Like, we all need to start putting on our Batman suits on and just being Batman, because Ya is just a hot mess. Like, don't sit on your ass and wait for somebody to save you and some situation to save you and for eventually somebody to see your value and for you to actually be happy and feel like you're content in your life. No, don't wait. Act on it. Act on the shit that you want to do. I cursed a lot in this video. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Mwah. Bye.